Hello student, welcome back to our MSc First Physics semester 2nd course, that is Atoms and Molecules, and this is our 12th lecture. And up to this we have covered the some topics of the module 3rd, that is a spectroscopic techniques. That means in our previous lectures we have started the module 3rd, and in that we have covered the one type of spectroscopy, that is a microwave spectroscopy, or we also call it as a rotational spectroscopy, because all those things are depend on the rotation of the dipole moment of that molecule when we place that molecule in a presence of the microwave radiation, and then we get the spectra of that molecule. So all those things we have covered in our previous videos, and also from the rotational spectra we are able to calculate the different parameters like a dipole moment, nuclear quadrupole moment, atomic masses, and the molecular structure. So all those things we can study with the help of microwave spectroscopy. We already discussed in our previous lectures. Now in this lecture we have to start the new type of the spectroscopic techniques, that is a second type of the spectroscopic technique is nothing but the infrared spectroscopy. That means in short we call it as a IR spectroscopy. We know that in electromagnetic radiation there are different types of the radiation, from smaller wavelength to the longer wavelength, and if we consider according to the frequency, then there is a vice versa. So here we have to consider now the infrared spectroscopy, which is a second type of the spectroscopic technique in this chapter. So we start with the introduction to the IR spectroscopy. IR spectroscopy, which is short for the infrared spectroscopy, deals with the infrared region of the electromagnetic spectrum, that is light having longer wavelength and lower frequency than the visible light. If we consider the electromagnetic spectrum, we have different regions, and the infrared spectroscopy deal with the only infrared region of the electromagnetic spectrum, and the light having longer wavelength, that means the wavelength is longer and the frequency is lower, but this comparison with the visible light, we know that the visible light have the wavelength that is a 400 to 700 nanometer, and the wavelength which is longer than the visible light, but the frequency is lower than the visible light, and this is nothing but the infrared radiation. Again we know that the infrared radiation classified into different types, that is a far infrared radiation, near infrared radiation, and mid infrared radiation, and all those radiations have different wavelength ranges and frequency ranges. So the particular region in the electromagnetic spectrum is the IR region, and with the help of all those radiation we can study about the sample or molecule, and this spectroscopy is known as the infrared spectroscopy. Infrared spectroscopy generally refers to the analysis of interaction of a molecule with the infrared light. That means if we place the sample in a presence of infrared light, then there is an interaction between the infrared radiation and that molecule, and then we get the spectrum of that particular molecule. IR spectroscopy detects frequencies of infrared light that are absorbed by the molecule. That means the molecule absorbs all those infrared radiation when there is a particular condition to absorption all those radiation, but in infrared spectroscopy all frequencies nearly about the detected. Molecules tend to absorb these specific frequencies of light since they correspond to the frequency of vibration of bonds in the molecule. We know that in a molecule there are different bonds in the atoms or molecules or elements, and these bonds vibrate with their natural frequency. If the incident radiation having frequency equal to the vibration frequency of that particular molecule, then and then absorption takes place. That means the IR radiation gets absorbed for that particular frequency range. So in this way we get the spectra of that particular molecule according to their natural frequency of vibration. Now what is the principle of IR spectroscopy? This all those things are the introductory part, but what is the actual basic principle of the IR spectroscopy? So let's see. The principle of IR spectroscopy is related to the vibrational and rotational energy of a molecule. We know that in a molecule or atom there are different energy levels. The first main energy levels are the electronic energy levels, and the electronic energy level consists of vibrational energy level, and the vibrational energy consists of the rotational energy level. But in case of infrared spectroscopy, here only we relate to the vibrational and rotational energy levels of the molecules, because here is the frequency corresponding to the vibration of that particular molecule, that is the frequency of vibration of that particular bond in that molecule and rotation of that bond. So here is only vibrational and rotational energy of a molecule taking into account. When the frequency of IR radiation is equal to the natural frequency of vibration, the molecule absorbs the IR radiation. As already mentioned, when we place particular molecule in a presence of IR radiation, then there is absorption, but there is a condition for that absorption. The condition is that when the frequency of radiation is equal to the frequency of or the natural frequency of the vibration of that particular bond, then and then the absorption takes place. Absorption of IR radiation causes an excitation of molecule from a lower to higher vibrational level, and due to absorption there is a increase in energy, and due to that increase in energy there is a excitation process. That means the molecule goes from lower level to the higher level, that is a vibrational level. Each vibrational level is associated with the number of closely placed rotational level. As already mentioned, the electronic level consists of the number of vibrational level, and vibrational level consists of the equally placed rotational level. The distance between two rotational level is the same, that means and they are closely placed. So the number of vibrational line consists of the rotational levels. Therefore, the IR spectroscopy is also called as a vibro-rotational spectroscopy. The alternative name for the IR spectroscopy is nothing but the vibro-rotational spectroscopy, because the IR spectroscopy is related to only the vibrational and rotational energy level of molecule. That means there is only changes in the rotational and vibrational energy level. So, this spectroscopy is also called as a vibrational and rotational spectroscopy. All the bonds in the molecule are not capable of absorbing IR energy, but those bonds which are accompanied by a change in a dipole moment will absorb in IR region, and such transitions are called IR active transitions. As already seen in a microwave spectroscopy, which molecules are microwave active and which are not microwave active. So all those things we have covered in a microwave spectroscopy. Similarly, in IR spectroscopy, some molecules or some transitions are IR active and some are the IR inactive. So for the IR active transition, the condition is that not all the bonds in the particular molecule are not capable of absorbing the IR energy, but those bonds which are accompanied by the change dipole moment. That means only there is an absorption when the bonds are absorb or able to absorb the IR radiation, only when there is a change in the dipole moment, then and then the energy get absorbed, and these transitions are called as IR active transitions. The transition which are not accompanied by the change in dipole moment of a molecule are not directly observed are considered as a IR active. That means after absorption there is no change in a dipole moment of that particular molecule, then this molecule is a IR inactive. Absorption in the IR regions is due to the changes in the vibrational and rotational levels. So all those absorption takes place because there is a changes in the vibrational and rotational energy levels, because there is an absorption of the energy and there is an excitation from lower energy level to the higher energy level, and there is a changes in the vibrational and rotational energy levels. When an electron absorbs less energy, rotational transition takes place. That means if the electron in the molecule absorb less energy, then the rotational transition takes place. We know that the rotational energy are equispaced lines and they are present very closely to each other. So the for small energy the rotational transition is possible, and the spectrum observed is called the rotational spectrum observed in a far infrared region. That means the corresponding spectrum, we get the corresponding spectrum for less energy absorption, and this spectrum is known as the rotational spectrum, and this spectrum observed in the far infrared region. When the electrons absorb still higher energy, vibrational transition takes place, which is accompanied by or accompanied with rotational transitions. That means this energy is slightly greater than the previous type of energy, then there is a possibility of vibrational transition, and this is accompanied with the rotational transition. That means due to the vibrational transition, the rotational energy levels are present in the vibrational levels. That means the vibrational levels consist of different rotational lines. So indirectly the vibrational transition is accompanied with the rotation transitions, and the spectrum observed called vibro-rotational spectrum and obtained in a near infrared region. That means here is a two phenomena, that is vibrational transition and rotational transition, and the corresponding observed spectra is known as the vibro-rotational spectrum, and this spectrum is observed in the region that is a near infrared region. Electronic transition takes place at higher energy. These are not seen in a IR. That means the energy distance between or the energy difference between two levels in the electronic spectrum is very high, but this is not comes under in a IR spectroscopy. So the electronic transition takes place at a higher energy levels, and these are not seen in a IR. So these all are the possible transition in the infrared spectroscopy, and we get the corresponding spectrum, that is the rotational spectrum and vibro-rotational spectrum, and these two rotational spectrum and vibro-rotational spectrum we get in a corresponding regions, that is in a far infrared region and near infrared region. So in this way we get the spectrum in the infrared spectroscopy. Now there are different modes of the vibration in the molecule. So vibrational modes leading to the IR absorption, and due to that vibration mode we get the infrared radiation absorption. So there are different types which is shown in this figure. So these figures, so first is the symmetric stretching vibration. Both outside atoms moves away from or towards the center. Here there is a center, and these two are the outside atoms. Here the name indicate that symmetric stretching. Stretching means they get away from each other, or they move from the center, or they comes towards the center, but this is a symmetric stretching. That means both the outside molecules at a time goes away from the center or come towards the center. So this is the symmetric stretching. This is the one kind of the vibrational mode in the molecule, and which leads to absorption of the IR radiation. Now the second is the asymmetric stretching. That means if we consider here is the center, and the one molecule which stretch towards the center and another molecule is away from the center, so there is no any symmetrical nature. So this is the asymmetric stretching vibration, as one atom moves towards the center and the another moves away from the center. So this is the asymmetric in nature, so name is the asymmetric stretching. Now the second type is the bending. This is the stretching, this is the bending, and again this is the bending but in a different way. So this kind of is the symmetric bending vibration in a plane, that is a scissoring. It is also known as a scissoring. Here we consider the center and these two are the outside atom. Here symmetric bending, that means there is a bending of the atoms in a upper side or in a lower side. That means in this way also possible, but here in this way. So there is a bending, but this bending is in a symmetric way. So at a time these molecules goes in upward size, that is there is a small bending vibration, and these all are the present in a one plane. So this name is the symmetric bending with the vibration in a one plane. It is also called as a scissoring. Now the second type is a asymmetric bending. That means the one molecule bends towards the upward side and another molecule bends towards the downward side. So asymmetric bending, vibration in a plane, that is rocking. Suppose we consider this is a center and these are the two outside atom, but one outside atom bends towards the upper side and another is a bend towards the lower side. So there is no symmetry. So this is the asymmetric bending. Now the next one is the symmetric bending, vibration out of plane. Those all are in the same plane, but here is the plane is a change, that is out of plane, and it is called as a twisting. So here is a center, but these two bending are in a symmetric way but not in a one plane. That means this is a bending like this and this is bending like this. So these two atoms bend in a out of plane. So this is the twisting. So symmetric bending, vibration out of plane. Now the next type of the vibrational mode is the asymmetric bending, vibration out of plane, that is a wagging. That means these are goes in opposite way like this and like this, but if we have the bending in the this direction, that means this direction, but out of plane, then this symmetry or this vibration mode is known as the asymmetric bending, vibration out of plane, and this is known as a wagging. So all those are the different vibrational mode which leads the IR absorption. That means due to all those vibrational mode, there is a or these all those molecules vibrate with a particular natural frequency, and when this natural frequency is equal to the frequency of IR radiation, then there is a absorption of the IR radiation and there is an interaction between the IR radiation and the molecule. So we get the spectrum of the corresponding sample or molecule, and we can study the different properties of that sample with the help of that spectrum. So in this way we get the different vibration mode in the molecule and we are able to get absorb the IR radiation with the help of the spectroscopic arrangement of that particular IR spectroscopy. So in this way we have covered the introductory part of the infrared spectroscopy, basic principle of the infrared spectroscopy, and also we have discussed about the different vibrational modes in the molecule and which responsible to the absorption of the IR radiation. Now in our upcoming video we will discuss about the infrared spectrometer, that means how we can able to obtain the infrared spectra with the help of infrared spectrometer. That means with the help of different components arrangement, that is the infrared source, detector, Michelson interferometer, all those things with the help of not Michelson interferometer but radiation source and different components arrangement, we get the particular spectra, and from that spectra we are able to study about the particular sample. That means we can study the physical as well as the chemical property of that sample with the help of the infrared spectroscopy. So we will continue with that in our next video.